Birds are very common everywhere you go, but sometimes they're harder to find than others. Today we'll be talking about woodpeckers, specifically the pileated woodpecker, because that's one you will probably recognize, and we're also going to be talking about turkeys and geese.
Here is a hole in a tree formed by a woodpecker. It's out in the fall. You can see the falls are very strong right now after all that rain. But usually the woodpeckers make these holes in trees because they want the bugs inside the tree, which are their main source of food. So that's why you will commonly see holes in trees like that. And this one looks like it was just being started. Sometimes you'll find them bigger.
This is a male pileated woodpecker. You can know it's a pileated woodpecker because of the red mohawk on top. You also know it's a male because it's much skinnier. The woodpeckers live in the trees. They live in the holes that they make, so if you see a tree with a huge hole in it made by a woodpecker, that's most likely where their nest is, where they'll lay their eggs and everything. They will also sometimes spend time out on the branches. You may see them out there as well. This is a female pileated woodpecker. You can tell because she's more round compared to the male. Pileated woodpeckers are generally on the eastern side of the United States. You may also see them in California and on the West Coast a little bit. They're also all up in Canada as well, and that's why they're most common around here, and you will probably recognize them compared to other woodpeckers. Woodpeckers aren't always in the sky. This is a picture of a woodpecker on the ground, which can happen, especially if we were to cut down a tree that they may live in and they need to find somewhere else to go. And woodpeckers are also very competitive species. They will fight for their eggs, their nests, their home, food, or anything. And this video coming up is a short clip of woodpeckers actually fighting in a way over whatever it may be. This is a picture of a hen, which is a female turkey. You can tell it's a female because it doesn't have the big appealing feathers of the male. Turkeys are omnivores, meaning they have almost a plant-based diet. They'll eat berries, grains, seeds, leaves, roots, sometimes some insects or lizards or salamanders. But to find their food, they will scratch at leaf piles in the woods to expose their food so they can eat. This is a picture of a tom turkey, which is a male turkey. You know it's a male because it's nice and round and has those nice feathers. The tom turkeys usually travel alone, so you won't see them with the hen and their young. They are also the turkeys that are targeted for hunting season when it comes to it. And as most of you know, hunting season has just started, so the hunters out there are targeting these tom turkeys. This is a picture of a turkey nest. The hens will usually lay 10 to about 15 eggs. Sometimes it can be 4 to 18, and it's really rare if you have more than 18. The eggs themselves are white with little red dots on them, and they're laid in nests that are on the ground. Right after the young turkeys hatch from their eggs, the female takes the young turkeys and they go wherever they need to. However, the young turkeys do feed themselves. Canadian geese can be found in a lot of places as long as there's water nearby. Canadian geese actually mate for life. So whenever a mating comes around, they mate with the same one and they'll travel together and everything. However, when mating does come along, they'll separate from their flock and find their own spot. Usually they like to find an open area where there's water and they can make a nest that's elevated from the ground or the water. The female goose is the one that makes the nest, lays the eggs, keeps them incubated, while the male goose stands watch and will circulate the nest and make sure there's no danger in any direction. However, geese can also become very territorial and aggressive, especially when there is young geese involved. And then they'll usually make a hissing noise, so it's always nice to stay far away from geese when they do have young because they will become very aggressive.